Hello everyone, I'm David Brear, General Secretary of the Independent Education Union, the IEU. I know there's a lot going on in schools right now and that you've already heard a lot from your employer and the IEU about what's happening with the new agreement. But today, I wanted to update everyone on some really important news. Today, the IEU lodged an application for what's called a Single Interest Authorisation, an SIA, which covers over 2/3 of Victorian Catholic education employers. We did this because a majority of staff at a majority of employers have told us that they want to be able to access the same basic bargaining rights as their colleagues in other states, so that when the IEU does sit down with the employer to negotiate, we're doing it without one arm tied behind our backs. We made the application now to fast track the process, but of course our campaign continues, and with your support, we'll get an SIA covering every Catholic employer. Through surveys, focus groups, and discussion with staff in schools, the IEU put together a log of claims, which on top of significant wage increases, also seeks improvements to workload, staff and student safety, better conditions for ES, school leaders, and more. It's an ambitious log of claims, but it needs to be. There's a crisis in schools right now, and that needs to be addressed. And what staff are telling us is that their employer's so-called offer just doesn't cut it. We need to negotiate an outcome that delivers not only the significant wage increases we know are sorely needed, but also addresses the big issues faced every day by all of you working in schools. That's why we've been asking everyone to say no to the so-called offer and to sign our statement of support for an SIA. In only a couple of weeks of campaigning, your efforts have delivered a major milestone. Thank you to every one of you who's already signed a statement of support. If you haven't yet signed, I urge you to do so. See your IEU rep in your school for access to a paper petition, or jump online at our website and sign on there. The more signatures we get, the better. In only 2 weeks of campaigning, we've got a majority in over 2/3 of employers, but we need you to sign the statement of support so that we can make the application for every employer. And that is exactly what we're going to do. Now look, I know there are claims out there that the union's holding things up and that what we're after is not affordable. The fact is, we've been ready to commence bargaining since early September, and what we're after is comparable to what's already happening in other Australian states. The majority of funding flowing to Catholic schools in Victoria comes from the federal government, under essentially the same arrangements that are in place in other states. If those schools in other states can afford higher wages, why can't Victorian Catholic schools? When New South Wales Catholic schools delivered proper pay rises to their staff, the sun still came up the next day and schools continued to thrive. And that's exactly what will happen in Victoria. The IEU is not trying to split up Catholic education. In fact, the IEU is seeking to unify bargaining, while Catholic education employers are risking breaking it up. If the employers had applied for an SIA as requested months ago, we'd already be bargaining together. Our log of claims is clear. We seek one agreement covering all staff in Catholic education. The employer's refusal to grant basic bargaining rights forced us to lodge our own SIA, which must begin with individual employers. We all know that the employer's so-called offer creates more questions than it answers. Fear-mongering about funding won't strengthen the sector. Misinformation won't build strong schools. You need to remember, negotiation is a normal, healthy process. It shouldn't be avoided. The Catholic Church itself supports fair bargaining and just employment. We just need a level playing field when that bargaining gets underway. Today, we celebrate this exciting milestone. The SIA application is a step forward, but the work continues. If you want to help secure full, fair bargaining and a lasting agreement, sign the statement of support. Say no to the employer survey and keep spreading the word to your colleagues. For more information about the IEU's campaign, talk to your IEU rep or visit the IEU website. Finally, I've written today to the VCEA to again ask them to meet with us to discuss bargaining under an SIA. I hope that given the action so many of you have already taken in signing our statement of support, we can make some real progress. Thank you.